Beginning at the top of the mat. Taking a few breaths. And taking a moment to center yourself. Ground yourself through the soles of the feet. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, hinging forward, forward fold. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, stepping right foot then left foot back, lowering down. Chaturanga, upward dog to downward dog. Heels coming towards the floor or on the floor. Few breaths here. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, stepping forward. Lifting up through the spine. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lifting through the spine, stepping the right foot, left foot back, lowering down to Chaturanga, lifting to upward dog, and shifting back to downward dog. 5 breaths here. Nice deep breaths. Lengthening the spine. Inhale, left foot, then right foot forward, forward fold. And coming back to center. Inhale, reaching the arms to the sky, chin back. Exhale, hinging from the waist, forward fold. Inhale, lifting through the spine, stepping the right then left foot back. Lower, low lunge, upward facing dog, and pushing back to downward facing dog. 5 breaths here again. You can alternate bending each knee, walking the dog. Inhale, step the left and right foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, back to center. Exhale. Inhale, lifting the hands up. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, lifting the spine. Exhale, Chaturanga, low lunge. Inhale, upward dog, and Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog, lowering the heels towards the floor, increasing the space between the fingers, pushing through the palms of the hands. Stepping the left and the right foot forward. Taking a breath. Inhale, come reaching upwards. Exhale, back to center. Inhale up. Exhale, coming down. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Stepping back, high plank. Lowering down, upward dog. Pushing the hips back, downward dog. Taking a few steps, bending the knees, walking the dog if needed. 5 breaths here. Deep breaths. Our sun salutations. And stepping forward. Standing forward fold. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, arms down, back to center. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, folding forward from the hips. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Taking a breath. Feeling the gravity pulling us down towards the earth. Working with gravity. Lengthening the spine. And you can grab each big toe using the first 2 fingers and the thumb for some traction to pull you a little bit closer to the earth, feeling the natural pull of gravity. And inhale, coming back up to mountain pose, Tadasana. Just finding the balance between each foot and coming into Vrikshasana, tree pose. Now we can bring the right foot either up to the outside of the left foot, the calf, or further up onto the thigh, just not on the outside of the knee. Taking a few breaths and coming back to center. And then bringing the foot to the inner thigh of the opposite leg, both hands together in prayer and Jali Mudra at the Anahata heart chakra. And if you want to challenge yourself, you can bring your hands overhead, feeling little micro movements as we balance ourselves. And bringing the hands back to center, lowering the leg down. Bringing the legs apart, wide-legged forward fold, arching the back, looking up, and then coming forward, bending forward from the hips, using the hands for support, gently bringing them down the legs to the center. You can use blocks under your hands for support. Remember to maintain the natural arches of the feet, flatten the hands if you'd like. And then we're going to slowly walk the hands and bring the back foot so that it's pointing forward, the front foot pointing forward. Walking the hands to each side of the front foot, bending the knees if necessary. Walking the hands back to center and then to the opposite side on both sides of the opposite foot. Bending the knees if needed and feeling the stretch in the back of the knees. And coming back to a wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, back to center. Taking a breath. And then grasping, interlacing the fingers behind you, really opening the chest and folding forward, bringing the arms overhead, feeling the stretch in the shoulder blades. Looking between the legs. Behind us. Inhale, coming back to center. And then bending the front left leg and entering Warrior Two. So we're going to imagine the center line coming down the center of our body and reaching the right and left hands equally, stretching them both on each side. Lowering that left elbow to the top of the left knee and stretching the right arm overhead. Extended side stretch pose. You can look up at the top arm. And then a reverse warrior. Stretching the right arm, letting it fall back along that back leg. Inhale, coming up, and exhale, lowering, bending the right knee, entering Warrior Two on the opposite side. Stretching from that middle line. Inhale, exhale backwards, arching the spine, reverse the warrior. And then lowering that right elbow onto the right knee and stretching the left arm overhead as if there's one line running along that side of the body, extended side stretch. Inhale back to center. And then exhale, entering a wide-legged forward fold. Arms bent, hands on each hip. Feeling the breath moving throughout the body. Feeling the natural pull of gravity. And inhale, coming up. Exhale, back to Tadasana, mountain pose. Take a breath, center yourself. And then we're going to bend the right leg and grab it with our right arm. Raise our left arm. Catch our balance. Take 5 breaths here. Slowly lowering down, bending the standing leg, entering dancer pose for a few moments, and coming back to center. So we're just challenging ourselves. You don't have to enter dancer pose. You could just maintain the posture of grasping the foot behind you, or you can try it little by little. And so you're just actually going to be pushing your foot outwards as you fold forward from the hips, using that right hand in the front for balance, to find your center of gravity, and bending the standing leg if needed for more support. And coming into goddess pose. So it's a high squat, cactusing the arms, fingers wide, palms open, and just stretching to each side. So we're lowering the left elbow to the left leg, making a C shape. Inhale to center, exhale opposite side. A few breaths here. Coming back up. To Tadasana. And we're just going to do a few fluid chair postures. So we're just inhaling, sweeping our arms up, and exhaling, bending the knees, entering chair pose. Inhale, arms up, standing onto our tiptoes. Exhale, bending the knees, chair. Inhale onto the tiptoes. Exhale, coming down, chair. And then we're going to hold chair pose, 5 breaths, hands in Anjali Heart Mudra. 5 breaths here. And we're going to gently twist to each side if possible. So bringing that left elbow to the right opposite knee, the right knee. Introducing some spinal flexibility, spinal movement. So we're entering to the center and then to the opposite side on the exhale, twisting. Inhale back to center, straightening the legs, bringing the hands down in front, walking the feet back to a high plank. 5 breaths here, a little strengthening, keeping the muscles contracted of the legs, the hands, fingers spread apart, entering a side plank. So we'll be balancing on one hand. You can drop that inner leg, that inner knee down if you need more support. Back to center. Few breaths in high plank, and then coming on to that opposite foot, balancing on that opposite foot and stretching the arm up, side plank. Again, you can lower the inside knee if you need to, and then lowering down into child's pose. You can keep the knees together, or you can, if you prefer, you can separate the knees and let the torso drop down in between the knees, if that's easier. Fully releasing into the pose, resting the forehead on the floor. Feeling the movement of the breath, of the prana. Opening up those energy channels. And then we're going to come into dolphin pose. So we're coming onto our forearms, raising the legs up. So it's almost like downward dog, but we're staying on our forearms here. Dolphin pose. Coming back onto our knees, back into tabletop. And we're going to do a few cat and cows. So cow looking up and cat arching the back, chin to chest. Inhale, moving the spine in the opposite direction. And exhale, coming forward. Inhale, looking up, arching the spine. Exhale, rounding the spine, chin to chest. Finding that fluid movement. And sitting down on our heels. Thunderbolt pose, Vajrasana, resting our palms on our thighs in front. Taking 5 breaths here. This is a good posture for digestion after you've eaten. It's also a good posture for meditation. You can put a cushion or a blanket in between your heels and your buttocks for extra support if you're holding the posture for a while. And you can also sit in this posture when you do certain pranayama practices. And then just coming on to bringing our arms behind us, fingers pointing forward, arching the spine, letting the head fall backwards, lowering down. You can try to bring the top of the head down to the ground, grasping the heels or the toes. Just doing some spinal flexion. And then coming into staff pose, the hands by our sides, by our hips, fingers facing forward, flexing the feet. And coming forward, you can grab your ankles or your toes, wherever feels most comfortable. Feel free to bend your knees, lengthening up through the spine on the inhale, on the exhale, folding forward. Relaxing the head, relaxing the neck. Deep full breaths. And now coming back to center. And we're just going to do spinal twist. So we're bending that right leg, bringing the left leg over top of the right leg, using that left thigh for leverage with our right elbow. Coming back to center, switching the feet over, so extending both legs. And then just bringing that opposite foot over the leg and bending the other leg in towards the buttocks. You can keep that left leg straightened as well. Inhale, extending up, and exhale, releasing the twist. And we're just going to come onto all fours, stretching the front of the body, letting the head and neck fall. It's a reverse tabletop. Lifting one foot, catching our balance, taking a breath, lifting the other side, taking a breath, back to center, and coming back to a seated position. And bringing the soles of the feet together, butterfly pose, pulling the feet in towards the sacrum, lengthening the spine upwards on the inhale, grasping each big toe with the first two fingers and the thumb, catching our balance here as we balance on our feet, and then extending the legs outwards, coming back to center. You may not be able to hold it, but you could start small and work up to it. And then entering boat pose. So we're bringing both legs in front, balancing, inhaling and exhaling back to center. Bringing the soles of the feet together, keeping them extended outwards, and then we're just going to wrap our hands around our ankles, coming into tortoise pose. Feeling ourselves becoming more introverted as we do a forward fold, looking inwards, focusing on the breath, internal sensations. And inhale, come back up. Exhale, slowly lowering onto the floor, using our arms, elbows for support. Grasping our knees to our chest, releasing the lower back. Knees to chest, feel free to rock from side to side. Taking a few deep breaths. Releasing into the pose, feeling the support of the earth, straightening the legs, holding the backs of the knees, letting the circulation from the blood from the feet flow downwards towards the reproductive organs and the sacrum, and then lowering that left leg, grabbing the right knee, gently bringing it across the body. Being sure to keep both shoulders on the ground. Looking out over that right hand is our dristi. You can look at that right finger, that middle finger for our gazing point. And bringing the knees back to the chest, switching sides. So straightening the right leg, taking the left leg, and stretching it across the body. As we enter into a reclined supine twist, using that right hand to slowly bring that knee down over the body, keeping both shoulders grounded and looking over the left hand. Inhale back to center, bringing both heels up and towards the buttocks. Finding the correct alignment with our spine. And then slowly lifting our spine, interlacing our fingers, coming onto our shoulders. We can rotate our shoulders underneath of us. Lifting the hips up. Slowly lowering the hips down. And just coming into a gentle Vipariti Karani, not a full shoulder stand unless this is something that you've practiced frequently. We're just going to bring our legs over top, supporting our hips with our hands and our elbows in a 90-degree angle. Letting that blood flow down through the legs. Slowly coming back to center. Lowering both feet. Palms facing up. Taking a few breaths, entering Shavasana. Making any last minute adjustments that you need to be totally comfortable in this moment. Feeling the body fully supported from the head to the toes. Taking a few deep breaths, focusing your attention inwards. Releasing any tension or tightness in the body. And just doing a little body scan, starting from the toes, through the soles of the feet and the ankles, bringing your attention to that area and consciously relaxing it, giving thanks to your feet for all the journeys that they have taken you on. And just moving up the legs, through the calves, backs of the knees, fronts of the knees, the thighs, the backs of the thighs, the front of the thighs. Through the sacrum, the lower abdominal muscles, the back muscles, the lower back, the mid back, the mid torso, your heart and lungs protected. And finally, the head. When you're ready, coming onto your side, coming up to enter into a few minutes of meditation, feeling the effects of the practice, coming into easy pose or Vajrasana, another thunderbolt pose, another posture that's comfortable for you, or you feel free to stay in Shavasana as well. And just taking a few moments to notice the internal state of your mind, of your body, of your spirit. Feeling a state of more openness, perhaps, of more peace, perhaps. I'm just feeling that free flow of energy, of prana, a spine elongated, using the breath as a center point, as a source of connection, and letting go, giving thanks. And just embracing an attitude of gratitude towards ourselves and towards others and towards our environment and Mother Nature. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to practicing with you again. Slow, deep breaths. And remembering to embrace this stillness throughout our day, knowing we can come back to this place at any time within ourselves. Thank you. Namaste. Raising the arms in the hands in Jali prayer pose, raising them above the head and coming back to center.